If you are in school, don't cheat, even if you can. Don't cheat. You know, oh, the teacher's not looking. Okay, I peek over at Muhammad's paper. Muhammad might have got it wrong, and you got it wrong with Muhammad. Don't cheat. Be honest. Remember, when you do these kinds of things, it removes some of those precious things that are in the heart. Now your integrity is gone, especially if your teacher catches you. Now, oh, I can't trust this guy anymore. The integrity is gone. Cheating does not lead to success. Also, number 2, if you are working, be honest in your job. Be honest in your job. Give a full amount of work for a full day's pay. You know, a lot of people like to cut corners. They like to cut corners. They do a little bit of this, and that's enough. Do not rationalize dishonest behavior. And this is something that our society does very often. I was in New York recently, and I went to dinner with a friend of mine, and we sat down, and I seen them ordering wine. They ordered wine. So I had made mention to him. I said, look, brother, I really don't want to sit around this kind of substance here, you know. So he says, oh man, it's just a little wine, you know, nothing heavy. You drink in moderation. How can we give any rationalization to wrong? So this is one of the pitfalls. When we're dishonest, it gives us the ability to rationalize our wrong. It gives us that ability to rationalize the wrong. Do not make commitments that you are not sure about. If you make a commitment, make sure that you can carry it out. This is one of the reasons why we always say, Inshallah. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, say not what you will do tomorrow without saying Inshallah. You don't know if you're to see tomorrow. When I was leaving the masjid one time, a brother needed something, and I said, look, okay, I'll be right back. I live right down the street. I'll bring it back to you in short. And one of my good friends walked past me. He said, Sheikh, you give yourself too much time. We don't know if we have the next step or the next second. And he had me reflect on the destroyer of pleasure, which is death. You see? Do not make up stories to make yourself look better. This is one of the things we had mentioned. People would like to exaggerate a little bit. You know, I caught a fish that was this big, and when I got home, he got away. He was this big. He was tremendous. You know, I caught this flounder. He was a doormat. But really, he was a minnow. SubhanAllah. We're laughing, but there's some serious element to this. Number 6, accept mistakes and decide to face the consequence. That's like I said, when the officer pulls you over, yes, officer, I know I was speeding, you know, I was trying to get to X, Y, Z, you know, I'll break it down, I'll slow it down. Can I get away with a warning? So you take your consequence. In the long run, it's better for you, to be honest, than to even get away. Because now you think, oh, I got over. See, this is from shaitan. I got over. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, oh, you who have believed, follow not the footsteps of shaitan. Don't follow his footsteps. You know, because he's going to whisper to you, oh, you can beat this. He's going to whisper to you. So accept your mistakes. When you accept them, this means that you're subject not to want to recommit them again, because now you're going to look out for what you have done. Avoid situations in which others may ask you to lie for them. Now, we have to take this into our own household. You'll tell me if this situation is familiar. You ready? Hello? Yeah. Tell them I'm not here. Anybody in your house ever do that? Tell them I'm not here. Now you've just encouraged a person to lie. How can I tell them they're not? They probably heard you. Never encourage a person to lie. You become a helper of shaitan when you encourage someone to be dishonest. SubhanAllah.
He said he's not here.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he said he's not here. He'll call you back later. SubhanAllah. So we should never do that. Also, we may have a tendency to mislead, but we accept others to be honest, or we expect others to be honest. So we'll say something, and it'll be a little off center, but we expect everybody that deals with me to be straight up. Not to say anything, we hold them to account when we don't hold ourselves to account. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, listen to this, this is a powerful verse. Allah says, grievously odious is it in the sight of Allah that you say that which you do not do. Do you hear the descriptive words? Grievous and odious. Is it in the sight of Allah that we say what we don't do? In other words, we're lying. And Allah is stating that He hates this. He detests this. It disgusts Him. Because Allah is what? He's al-haq. He is the truth. So He detests such an act. We need to live our lives so that our thoughts, our behaviors are always in harmony with ourselves in reference to the truth. All the time. All the time. When we get ready to say something, think before you say it. You know, my father used to say, think 5 times before you open your mouth. Think. Is this going to displease my Lord? Is Allah going to be angry with me if I let this come out of my mouth? Or if I perform this kind of act? Or if I do this deed? Is it going to displease Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? If it is, then I need to hold myself. I need to tame myself. I need to corral my desires and my emotions. So we need to do that. In our connection with the world, we know that it is not more difficult to hide certain things than others. Some things easy to hide, some things very difficult to hide. Let me tell you one thing that is so difficult to hide. And my mother proved this fact. I came home one time and I wasn't supposed to go to the carnival. I was about 13 years old. And my mother asked me straight up, son, did you go to the carnival? No, Mom, not me. But she knew by my demeanor, by my face, I couldn't hide it. She knew I had went to the carnival. She knew it. She couldn't say what rides I got on, but she knew I had crossed a major highway to get to this carnival to have some fun. When you get caught in a lie, how do you feel? Huh? How do you feel when you get caught in a lie? How do you feel? Oh, man. You know, first thing you say, I shouldn't have done that. It's terrible. So if it's dishonesty makes you feel bad, and I always have to put this question in, when human beings, when man knows right from wrong, what allows him to continue on to do the wrong? What happened to us? What's our barometer? What's our measuring stick?
Hope.
Hope?
That I'm hoping I'm not going to get caught. I'm hoping I'm going to get away with it. Hope.
You ever see a bird fly with one wing? No. A bird flies with two wings. And this is the attitude and the aspect of the Muslim. He flies with fear and hope. Hope for Allah's mercy, fear of Allah's punishment. This is how he flies. Otherwise, this one-winged bird, he gets ate by the cat. So if we fly with only hope, hope is not going to keep us from the fire. But if we fly with taqwa, with hope and fear, do the best that we can in maintaining righteousness, in maintaining honesty, in maintaining dignity, in maintaining your integrity, and hope that we've done it with sincere intent, then we are eligible to look for Allah's mercy. We've put ourselves in that position. Allah only wants you to take a step towards Him, and He'll take 10 to you. If we go to Allah walking, He will come to us running. If we go an arm's length, He will come a phantom's depth. Allah will inconvenience Himself for you. If you stand up in the latter portions of the night, ask forgiveness, He will forgive you. See, He will come down off His throne. He loves you so much. But this is for the people that are honest with themselves. They're trying to relieve themselves of those things that have infected and affected. Sister?
If you could just repeat, I have, as a Muslim, we should walk with hope and fear. Hope you are forgiven. And
Hope for Allah's mercy.
Hope for Allah's mercy.
And fear of Allah's punishment. Because, it's mercy. Because the Prophet said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he couldn't get Jannah without the mercy of Allah. So we need the mercy. And we need to fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will keep us from the prohibitions, those things that Allah said, stay away from. Stay far away from them. Allah didn't say in the Quran, don't commit adultery. He said, don't even get near it. This means don't do the things that lead up to it. It's going to make you a dishonest individual. It's going to make you an individual that's cheating. The first one that you cheat is yourself. You become self-oppressive. But when we maintain the honesty, we upgrade our integrity. Allahu Akbar. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك وأشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Any questions? Any comments? Any suggestions? Yes, sister.
I want to make sure that I get this statement correct and perfect. I have honesty builds strong characters with high standards of morality and excellent quality of behavior. Am I missing anything?
No, you have it. That's it. Kanisha?
I was going to ask about something that you mentioned at the beginning, where the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked about, can a man be a miser, and can a man be there was another
A coward.
and then can a man be a liar? And he said no. So in a sense, he equated lying with disbelief.
Yes.
And I was wondering if, is that because it's one of the characteristics of a munafiq? Because if there were four characteristics of a munafiq, one that when he speaks, he lies. Is that why being a liar is equated with disbelief?
Yes, that's one of the characteristics of the munafiq, and it's also a characteristic of who? Shaitan. Shaitan is a liar. He whispers to you an indecency, a lie, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala plainly tells us Shaitan withdraws after this lie. He entices you, and then he leaves you alone to watch you. And then when you fall from grace, he laughs at you. And on the day of judgment, he's going to say, Ya Allah, Ya Rabbi, I had no power over them. I only called them. It was they who answered. See, so we have to learn to distinguish the truth from falsehood. Haq, batil. We have to learn to distinguish this. Otherwise, we can get trapped by somebody tickling our ear with some words that sound good. That sound good.
So what then is the difference between the munafiqs and then the people of the Quraysh who heard the message, they were drawn in by it, but then denied it? What separates the two? Because it seems like they both have an acknowledgement of the truth and then deny it. But it says in the Quran that the munafiqs, you believed and then disbelieved. But what is the difference between the person who...
They say they believe, but they don't believe. This is what Allah says in Surah Al-Baqarah. It said they say that they believe, but they do not really believe. Fain would they deceive Allah and those who believe, but they deceive themselves and they realize it not. Oh boy, how stupid are they? They're tricking their own selves. And anybody that comes in and says, I believe, and then he turns on his heel.
So the difference between them is Quraysh was saying, no, we don't believe, and the munafiqeen, they were showing that they do, but they don't.
They were saying that they do, but they don't.
So one being honest and saying no, and the other is lying and just saying yes, but they're not.
You know, when the Prophet ﷺ had some Bedouins come to him, and they made mention, they said, Ya Rasulullah, we believe. The Prophet ﷺ said, wait, no, you don't believe, not yet. They said, why? He said, faith has not yet entered into your heart. See, so when you're talking about belief, when you're talking about steadfastness, when we believe, we don't question Allah's qadr, where others who are hypocrite may do so. They question the qadr of Allah. Oh, why do I have to? You have a group of people now who are calling, they're Quraniyun. They only accept the Quran and not the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. When the Prophet ﷺ said himself, I leave you two things. If you take them, you will not go astray, the Quran and my Sunnah. So this is clear for us. Now they want to change it. When Allah said He's perfected it, He's left nothing out. The Prophet brought the message in totality. Yes, sir.
Let's say one thing, that just there's a middle ground, which is not a good place to be, but between lying and being honest. Just because someone isn't lying does not make them honest. So, for example, being silent when you need to tell the truth. Or we said between the Quraysh and the Munafiq. The Munafiqeen, they were dishonest, but just what the Quraysh weren't necessarily openly lying and pretending to believe did not make them honest, because they're still denying the truth of Allah. So they're not being honest. They're being neither. They're not dishonest. They're not like naked al-ayah, but it's.
They said, I don't believe in it, so they're just being straightforward. They don't
Yeah, but
believe
they're
in it.
still, Allah called them, the Quran called them liars, so.
I think it was down by
A kafir, it's someone who hides.
was that Kafir or was it the
Yeah,
one who
the
says
kafir hides.
He's hiding it, so
they
he's not,
dis-
but
they
he's not
disbelieve,
necessarily
yeah.
denying it. He's, well, one is
They cover the truth.
Right, so he's not, like, it's not lying or being honest, it's in between, which is still wrong. It's like covering a hole, another one, he's digging the hole.
You know, here's the thing for us as Muslims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, what's halal is clear, and what is haram is clear. Between the two are doubtful matters. So you can catch people as pretending to believe. You know, you had Sulu, who was in Medina. He was the biggest hypocrite. He ran Medina before the Prophet ﷺ got there, but he ran back and forth between Medina and Mecca and informed them of what the Muslims were doing. But when he was with the Muslims, he was making salah. But you know, Allah has cleared that for us. Allah has cleared that for us. He makes mention, he says, when they are with you, they say they believe. But when they are with their evil counterparts, they say, we was just jousting. We're not really with them. So this is the middle place where he's playing back and forth. Yeah. Sisters, anything else?
So it's like a double lie, basically. You deny the truth and then you lie about believing in the truth. So that's why their works.
Yeah, he's just a liar, period.
I did not understand your question. What was she talking about?
She's saying it's a double lie. He pretends on this side to believe, that's a lie, and he pretends over this side not to believe and acts like he believes on that side. So he lies here and he pretends there.
He's going for benefits.
What he is losing is all of his credibility. He's losing all of his credibility. Every bit of it. So in order for us to maintain our credibility, in order for us to upgrade our character, you know, we have to improve on what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us. And wrong word, not improve, but increase in what Allah has given us. If you make 5 prayers, make your sunnah. If you fast Ramadan, do some fasting throughout the year. You've paid your zakat, do some sadaqah. Feed the homeless, the needy, the wayfarer, the orphan. You see? These things are elements that will keep you with your integrity. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. One more.
One more. Just want to understand what you meant by Allah inconvenience himself.
Yes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't have to do anything for you,
Okay.
but he does everything for you.
Okay.
And people who believe and people who disbelieve. Okay? The disbeliever eat like you eat. Yes? Okay. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the last third of the night, I'll come off my throne for you if you stand and pray to me. And not only will I come off my throne, but if you stand and pray to me, I will forgive you your faults. Allah don't have to come off his throne. No.
But my question was, where's the inconvenience?
Huh?
Where's the inconvenience?
His inconvenience is that he does when he doesn't have to. He does when he doesn't have to. If Allah created nothing, would he still deserve the right to be called the creator?
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe it's just a matter of me understanding the word. Yeah, I think it's good. Huh?
Tomato.
I think that's what it is. I'm just trying to have a better understanding.
Alhamdulillah, jazakumullah khair.
لا إله
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. أشهد أن